If being a hater was an Olympic sport, Reverse Flash would certainly win the gold medalist, because there is nobody on this earth that has literally done what he did by going back in time, killing Barry Allen's mom, which caused Barry Allen's dad to be sent to prison because Reverse Flash, he framed Barry Allen's dad for the murder, and to even make sure that Reverse Flash is the most petty motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. He also was the reason that Barry Allen tripped down the stairs, because he pushed him down the stairs when Barry was a little kid. But do you know who will actually be in the second place of the hater Olympics? It's none other than the bald motherfucker himself, Lex Luthor, because I think I've already stated this in my earlier video of Superman and Lois episode 7 in season 4, and that is Lex Luthor is the most biggest hater that I've seen encounter Superman, because he will not stop and rest until he ruins Superman's life, Lois Lane's life, his family's life, hell, even Crypto's life. And there's even one time when he even cured his own sister being paralyzed just to re-paralyze her again, just so that he can spite Superboy. Luthor will do whatever it takes to hurt any member of the Superman family, because he knows that by hurting one member of the Superman family, he will hurt Superman himself. He will piss off Superman, and that'll cause Superman to crash out, and that'll cause Superman to do something that will make Luthor become sympathetic in the public eye, and Superman and his family look like evil people and look like abusers. And that's exactly what happened in season 4 episode 8 of Superman and Lois, because this continues and follows up the previous episodes where we saw Superman, he faced Lex Luthor in that Smallville fight, that rainy, bloody fight, and the most recent episode that dealt with Superman having to reveal himself, and he is telling the world that he is Clark Kent. So Luthor, he sees all of that. He watched all of that. He watched everything over the last couple of days in this universe, and Luthor came up with a plan. Luthor came up with a plan that, in my honest opinion, he is just so devious that he must have been up all night. He must have not gotten any sleep from this week of planning to ruin Lois Lane's credibility and to paint her as a liar, because Luthor, he teams up with glorious Gordon Godfrey. And when I saw Gordon Godfrey of this universe, I was really surprised and I was really pleased, because in the comics, Glorious Godfrey, he is a hater of Superman as well. He will make so many shows trashing Superman's credibility, trashing not only Superman, but the entire Justice League's credibility. And Glorious Godfrey, he actually works under Darkseid because he is an apocalyptian. And this is so sad seeing Glorious Godfrey in the show, because it begs the question, did Superman and Lois actually plan for a season 5 with Darkseid? Because if Glorious Godfrey has appeared in Superman and Lois, that means they must have been planning Darkseid in the next season. So that makes me sad, realizing that damn, Superman and Lois will end at season 4. But Glorious Godfrey, he has his show, and Luthor, he actually meets with Glorious Godfrey due to the help of, forgot her name, I think it's Amanda or something, but basically Luthor's lover. She actually books this show so Luthor can go head-to-head debate against Lois. And this catches Lois off guard because she's not ready, but she actually really thinks she's ready, because she has witness testimony from Otis showing that Luthor is the master criminal and the mastermind in trying to plot Lana Lang's death. But they get shocking news that Otis was found hanging in his cell. And come on, we all know it's Lex Luthor. We all know that Lex Luthor did this so he can cover his tracks just for this day. And Luthor and Amanda, or whatever her name is, they were waiting for the whole day, waiting for Lois Lane to respond or to appear. And throughout that day, we see that Lois, she is getting hate from Smallville. The people in Smallville are calling her a liar. So that means this is working. And this goes back into my earlier point in this video of saying that Luthor, he actually accomplished doing something that will take the Superman family's credibility and will actually make Luthor look sympathetic in the public eye and make them look like criminals, because Lois, she takes the bet. She takes the challenge to meet with Luthor at his own penthouse with his own interviewer, Glorious Godfrey, to combat and to challenge Lex Luthor. But Clark really wanted Lois to take a rebuttal, to just go the easy way out, but she didn't want that. And when she appeared, Clark followed as well. But a little side story that actually plays more into the bigger story of this episode is we see a debut of a variant of Brainiac in the comics, and that variant is Milton Fine. And I was shocked when I saw that, because at first when we see him, he's actually in distress, quote unquote, and we see Steel and his daughter Natasha Irons, they actually save him from something, but they don't realize that he hacked into their systems when that happened. So as the debate is going on, we're seeing Luthor and we're seeing Lois, they're going back and forth, and Luthor made some good points, Lois made some good points, but Luthor's big good point was that he has CCTV evidence of Clark coming into his home, challenging him to a fight, beating him up, and nearly killing him. So that actually makes and paints Superman as a killer or as a brute monster, and that actually works. But Lois had something up her sleeve. She had Luthor's daughter to actually bring testimony and to testify against Luthor in this interview, but Amanda had other plans. Amanda had a plan B, and she now called Milton to hack into Steel and Natasha Iron suits so that both suits can go and target two things. One, the Natasha Iron suit would target the Super Sons. I think Luthor wanted to kill Superman's kids and his friends. And two, the Steel suit will actually take control of John Henry Irons and make him fight Superman. But this was actually a ruse, because as Superman, he's pounding on Steel because the suit, it flew to the building, and Superman in this cold scene, he now flew out of the building and broke the glass, and then I started to fight. As they were fighting, Steel was telling Superman, you have to destroy the suit, that's the only way it'll work. But Milton, remember, he is basically a variant of Brainiac in the comics, so he is smarter than John Henry Irons, so he actually upgraded the suit so that the suit did not need John's commands to become a force of reckoning. But this is actually a plan that Milton and Luthor came up with so that they can take full control of the suit, and the suit can fly somewhere else. The suit can fly back to Luthor's base, because I'll get to that at the end of the episode. But let me go back into the Jonathan Kent and Jordan fight against the Natasha Iron suit, because I like this part that they did at the end of the fight. As they were fighting with the suit and the suit was choking Jonathan, we see that Jordan uses his heat vision to hit the suit from the back. Then Jonathan now uses his heat vision to hit the suit from the front, and they're both using heat vision. It was a cool scene there. But we now see the end of the whole interview, because the interview was done due to Superman flying through the glass. She shattered the whole set, and it caused the interview to end abruptly. But this is exactly what Luthor wanted. This is exactly what Amanda wanted. They both also wanted a relationship with each other. So since this succeeded, they now eventually embrace each other. And as they were embracing and kissing, as they were celebrating, basically Milton called them and told them it's time. They have the suit, because Luthor's real plan, this is how much of a hater Luthor is. He did all of this. He set up this talk show. He baited Lois Lane to come out debate with him. He did all of this. He hacked their suits. He got under their skin. He did these CCTV cameras to paint Superman in this negative light, just for the slim chance that he can actually successfully hack into the suit. Because I'm gonna say this right now, there is no Luthor without his super suit. There is no Luthor without his super powered mecha suit that is capable of fighting and even defeating Superman on some occasions. And that's Luthor's true plan in this episode. He wanted to get Steel's suit so that he can upgrade it and use it for his own evil plans, man. This episode proved to me that Lex Luthor, he is the second biggest hater I've seen, man. He literally has won the silver medal of being the biggest hater in DC, and out of Superman's rogues gallery, Lex Luthor is the biggest hater I have ever seen. But that's the end of the video, man. Season 4 has been straight fire so far, man. This whole series has been good, but season 4 is really like top content. It's the best content they have done throughout the entire series, man. At the end of the video, Luthor is a hater. I'm out. Peace.